Hey folks, back with more ancient cosmography. So this is, looking again at the Lascaux famous scene bison here, which represents Australia, right next to this recumbent man who represents Papua New Guinea, which you can just barely see right next to Australia here, right under his front haunch. And you can see the spear a little bit. It's very zoomed in the Avatar version, but it's these Wessel Islands that kind of jut out from the coast there. And so basically, I think it's significant that the Tropic of Capricorn runs through here, and I think actually this is the origin of Capricorn as it's in its form, and this whole scene, it's like focused on the straits. So, as I was saying before, it's focused on the strait here. So it's these two, the reason these two figures are facing each other and these two figures are facing each other is because they represent the major straits of the Southwest Pacific. And those straits are the Torres Strait right here, which, separates the sea from the Pacific. And then over here, that's the battle between the bison and the man. And the battle between the bird and the snake-headed god critter thing seems to represent the straits of the Sulu Sea. So that would be, let's see, so there's like the Sabutu Passage is one of those. It's a deep channel, some 18 miles, that separates Borneo from the Sulu Archipelago. Okay, so the Sulu Archipelago. Awesome. So that means everything, the Sulu Sea is named after the snake god's spit, because he's spitting out all those islands. It has a deep sill allowing entry of deep water into the Sulu Basin while connecting the Sulu Sea with the Sulawesi Sea that feeds from the Pacific Ocean by the Mindanao Current. And this is Mindanao Island here, the Philippines. So yeah, this that battle between the bird and the other figure. It's like this is the other figure with the snake head, and then this is the pole and the bird. The bird is actually this island right here, Busuanga. And so it's in some ways it's especially a battle between Busuanga, the bird island, and Zamboanga, the Snakehead Peninsula. And then, this pole is almost kind of like the body, or just as like, the actual body of this creature is the rest of the Philippines and Sulawesi and Taiwan. So yeah, the whole scene is about the Torres Strait between Australia and New Guinea, and then these three straits, I think, or especially these two straits, I would guess, and maybe this one as well. Probably this one as well. The Mindoro Strait, the Balabac Strait, and the Sabutu Passage right here. So knowing these straits are important, because otherwise, you have to go all the way around to get to wherever you're going. So those are the most important straits in the Southwest Pacific, in the entire southwestern quarter of the Pacific Ocean. So it makes sense why the Cro-Magnon, who were sailors, they sailed to Australia and whatnot, they would focus on that. And also it seems that the Tropic of Capricorn runs through that horn and is actually named after that horn and one possibility, I think my phone's about to cut me off because it's full of photos, but there's a possibility that this dark part just between the Sulawesi and Palawan here is actually the nose of Borneo here. There's a very solid chance of that, so I made one version like that and one without because I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, like the whole, like Capricorn, I think is the same thing as cornucopia. It refers to the horn of Amalthea, this horned god who's a sister of Europa and Asia. And Zeus breaks off her horn, and then a bunch of plenty fruits and stuff pours out of the horn. So I think that means all these islands and stuff here. Like this is the Horn of Plenty, Cornucopia, Camp Island, and Facing Island here. The face is Torilla Peninsula, and this horn is Wargambura Peninsula. And then this is all the fruits that are pouring forth. And it's exactly on the Tropic of Capricorn, like almost the exact spot where the breakage is seen to have occurred. So, I think that I'm going to find that a lot of the zodiac is from geography like this kind of astrogeographic, symbolism. Here it shows all the siblings of Amalthea. So it includes like a lot of places, like, this might be Meroe in Nubia or whatnot. Pluto is America, the underworld. So America is another sister or a brother, I guess. Balabac Strait connects the South China Sea with the Sulu Sea. It separates Balabac Island, Palawan Province, Philippines from Balambangan, and the Bangi Islands north of Borneo that are part of Malaysia's Sabah state. So that's probably, I think that is part of the scene, what it's showing. And I suspect that, this is the Tropic of Cancer. So I think that the reason Cancer is shown as a crab it's shown as a dung beetle because in some way it's like the shape of a dung beetle. But it's also shown as a crab and a lobster because if you count Penghu with it and this peninsula here, these are the two pinchers. That's how I see it, at least, because this is like a very narrow, pointy peninsula here, and then this is like a narrow, pointy archipelago that's kind of connected via seamounts. So yeah, it could be that all this, chances are all the zodiac has such origins. So yeah, here's the sail into here or the Balabac Strait and then sail around all the spit, and then you can come through to the Sea Turtle Corridor. So this is Malaysia, this part of Borneo is Malaysia, and then this other part is Indonesia, like Sulawesi is Indonesia, whereas this is still part of the Philippines over here. I'm surprised my phone isn't cutting me off. It's kind of strange. It usually cuts me off by like 6 minutes or something. Let's see. Some of the other siblings, the Sirens. So the Sirens, I think, are the same thing as Corsica. Corsica, that's the name, another name of Corsica. And so it makes sense if since the Sirens are seen as like sea critters or some kind of sea people, that Amalthea, the Australian goat, is seen as a sea goat. Rhodesia here, that's another island of the Mediterranean. Urania, I don't know what the hell these things are. Styx, that's supposed to be a river in America in the underworld, or possibly one of the seas. So it shows the Capricorn also goes through Madagascar. And so, yeah, cornucopia is a real last thing.